On September 17th or 18th, 2024, depending on your location, the skies will witness a significant astrological event, a partial lunar eclipse occurring in the sign of Pisces. Lunar eclipses are known for their transformative energy, often bringing unexpected changes and stirring up emotions. This particular eclipse, with its alignment in the intuitive and emotional sign of Pisces, is set to profoundly impact our mindset, emotions, and overall well-being. It's important to highlight that these interpretations are drawn from sidereal or Vedic astrology, which considers a roughly 24-degree variance from the tropical zodiac. Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac, is known for its deep emotional and spiritual nature. It governs our subconscious, dreams, and the unseen realms of our psyche. During this eclipse, the moon is in close proximity with Rahu, the north node of the moon, which is known for creating illusions and confusion. This conjunction can cloud our judgment and lead to perceived challenges and imagined issues. It's a time when our inner world may feel tumultuous, and our emotions can swing from one extreme to another. The moon, which rules over our mind and emotions, being overshadowed by Rahu, can make us feel overwhelmed and unsure of our path. This eclipse occurs in the Purvabhadrapada nakshatra, which is ruled by Jupiter. This constellation has a dual nature. It can represent both inspiration and intensity, often bringing sudden shifts in our emotional state. During this period, we may experience emotional ups and downs, mood swings, and a desire for space in our relationships. Financially, there could be an increase in expenses or unexpected shifts in our material circumstances. Eclipse seasons are inherently complex and difficult to navigate, primarily due to the involvement of Rahu and Ketu, the lunar nodes. These points are associated with illusion, confusion, and karmic patterns. During an eclipse, the sun and moon, which are our primary sources of light and guidance, are obscured by these nodes. This lack of illumination can make it challenging to see our path clearly, leading to confusion and uncertainty. The effects of this confusion can extend from 5 days before the eclipse to 5 days after, creating a period known as the eclipse season. It's crucial to understand that during eclipse season, we may feel as if things related to the sun and moon in our lives are being eclipsed or taken away. This can manifest as issues with health, career, authority figures, and our emotional well-being. The impact of an eclipse can be sudden and unexpected, affecting various aspects of our lives including our profession, relationships, and mental health. The changes brought on by the eclipse can be disorienting at first, but they also provide an opportunity for introspection and transformation. This lunar eclipse, involving the moon's conjunction with Rahu in Pisces, brings a time of heightened emotions. It can amplify our feelings, making us more susceptible to anxiety and mood swings. It's not uncommon to feel overwhelmed or to experience a sense of isolation as the eclipse pulls us inward, urging us to confront our emotional depths. The need for emotional release is strong, but it's important to be mindful of how we express these feelings. During this time, we must guard against making impulsive decisions or engaging in unnecessary conflicts with those around us. The influence of Rahu on the moon can make it difficult to maintain a clear perspective. It's essential to avoid making major decisions during this period, especially those driven by heightened emotions. Instead, focus on introspection and self-awareness. This is a time for inner work rather than outward action, for reflection rather than reaction. The effects of this lunar eclipse will not be limited to the emotional realm alone. It will have broader implications for various aspects of our lives over the next 4 to 6 months. Eclipses also have a way of bringing to light the areas of our lives where we have outgrown old patterns or beliefs. They challenge us to let go of what no longer serves us and to embrace a new way of being. This period can be seen as an astrological reset, providing us with an opportunity to redefine our goals and intentions for the future. Understanding and preparing for the challenges of eclipse season can help mitigate potential negative effects and highlight opportunities for growth. This lunar eclipse in Pisces is a time to be vigilant about our mental and emotional health. Practice self-care and mindfulness to navigate through the intense energy. Engaging in grounding activities, such as meditation, yoga, or spending time in nature, can help maintain balance. It's also important to stay connected with loved ones and seek support if needed, as this can provide comfort and clarity during a time of emotional turbulence. Be mindful of how the eclipse might impact the houses in your natal chart, especially if Pisces or Virgo is your ascendant, sun, or moon sign. The houses where these signs fall will be particularly influenced by the eclipse, potentially bringing about changes in those areas of life. For those experiencing this eclipse intensely, especially if currently in Rahu, Ketu, Sun or Moon-related dashas, it is advisable to remain cautious and avoid taking significant steps during this period. Though the partial lunar eclipse in Pisces may bring a sense of confusion and emotional intensity, it also holds the promise of transformation and growth. By illuminating our inner world and encouraging us to release what no longer serves us, it opens the door to new beginnings and a deeper understanding of ourselves. The path may be unclear now, but as we move forward, we can expect to find clarity and a renewed sense of purpose. Remember that the effects of this eclipse will unfold over the next several months, so allow yourself the time and space to integrate its lessons and embrace the changes it brings. Eclipse seasons aren't the most auspicious moments to start on new projects, navigate complex relationships, make major career moves, or any other significant material decisions. They have historically been seen as inauspicious events, often associated with negative omens for worldly matters. Instead, eclipse seasons offer an excellent opportunity to retreat, meditate, and delve into your inner world. They provide a unique chance to connect with your spiritual side. Be aware, though, that eclipse seasons can be quite turbulent, particularly in the days between a lunar and solar eclipse. It's essential to determine if an eclipse will be visible in your location, as its effects tend to be more pronounced where it can be seen. However, the true outcomes of these events usually become apparent over the next 6 months. Whether these outcomes prove to be favorable or unfavorable largely depends on your current dasha period. So, if you find yourself facing challenges during this eclipse season, remember that events may unfold and become clearer in the months that follow. Now that we have this context, let's dive into the predictions for each zodiac sign for this lunar eclipse. For Aries, the lunar eclipse occurring in Pisces will bring significant shifts, particularly in matters related to your emotional well-being, work, and spiritual growth. This eclipse is conjunct Rahu, which brings the potential for intense and unexpected changes. Rahu's influence tends to amplify the eclipse's effects, making it crucial for you to be mindful of your mental state, decisions, and actions during this period. The Rahu-Moon conjunction will occur in your 12th house, the house of endings, subconscious patterns, and spiritual growth. This house often rules over hidden fears, isolation, and loss, and Rahu's presence can exaggerate these themes. You may find yourself experiencing a heightened sense of emotional restlessness, anxiety, and agitation during this time. Emotional instability may be exacerbated by overthinking and the influence of the environments you are in. Be cautious about surrounding yourself with negative or emotionally taxing people, as you'll be more susceptible to external influences. On the flip side, this lunar eclipse offers a profound opportunity for spiritual growth and self-awareness. The 12th house is also associated with spiritual retreats, meditation, and divine surrender. You're encouraged to take time for introspection and meditation, as this period can open doors to deeper subconscious realizations. Prophetic dreams and heightened intuition may emerge, guiding you towards significant spiritual transformations. This eclipse can mark the completion of a phase of spiritual development, allowing you to graduate to a higher plane of awareness. The effects of the eclipse will also extend to your 6th house of debts, health, and service, bringing challenges in the professional and financial spheres. The lunar eclipse could indicate a sudden culmination in a work-related situation, such as the end of a project or even a job. This could be a time when you decide to leave behind a toxic work environment or realize that a particular job or role is no longer serving your growth. It's important to note that eclipses often bring closures, but these endings pave the way for new beginnings. Financially, you should be cautious about making any significant investments or taking on new debts during this period. The 12th house is associated with expenses, and the influence of the lunar eclipse could bring unexpected costs, particularly related to health or legal matters. Avoid purchasing property through loans or making impulsive financial decisions, as these could lead to long-term stress. Legal matters, if pending, may also surface during this time, requiring you to stay calm and avoid confrontational attitudes. This eclipse is also expected to have an impact on your physical and mental health. The 6th house rules over health, and the lunar eclipse could highlight health concerns that have been neglected. You might experience fatigue, stress, or even health scares, especially if you've been pushing yourself too hard. It's essential to prioritize rest, relaxation, and self-care during this period. Ignoring the need for rest could result in a health wake-up call, signaling the importance of taking care of your well-being. You may also come to the realization that certain habits or routines need to change in order to improve your health. This could be the time when you decide to let go of unhealthy practices, such as poor eating habits, lack of exercise, or reliance on substances. By releasing these patterns, you can improve both your physical and mental health, paving the way for a healthier future. In terms of relationships, this eclipse will have significant implications, particularly in romantic and business partnerships. Venus, the ruler of your 7th house of partnerships, is moving out of debilitation in Virgo and into its own sign of Libra on September 18th, right after the eclipse. This transit may bring a shift in how you perceive your relationships, particularly in terms of balance, harmony, and mutual respect. However, you should be cautious not to fall into the trap of overthinking and obsessing over your partner's flaws during this period. The influence of Rahu can lead to illusions and heightened sensitivity, causing you to focus on what's wrong in your relationships rather than what's right. It's essential to maintain a balanced perspective and avoid unnecessary confrontations that could arise from emotional volatility. For those in business partnerships, the eclipse could also signify the end of a professional relationship or a change in how you collaborate with others. Be open to letting go of partnerships that no longer serve your growth and remain mindful of the potential for misunderstandings. The 12th house is often referred to as the house of divine surrender, and Rahu's influence in this house could push you toward deeper spiritual contemplation. Rather than resisting the changes and emotional turbulence that arise, embrace these shifts as necessary for your personal growth. Meditation, spiritual practices, and spending time in solitude can help you navigate the intensity of this period. Overall, the lunar eclipse in Pisces will bring a combination of challenges and opportunities. The emotional intensity, professional closures, and health-related realizations that emerge during this period will set the stage for a new chapter of growth. By staying grounded, embracing spiritual practices, and letting go of what no longer serves you, you can use this eclipse to propel yourself toward greater self-awareness and fulfillment. It's a time of endings, but also a time of powerful new beginnings. For Taurus, the upcoming lunar eclipse in Pisces brings significant changes, focusing on your 11th house of gains and the 5th house of self-expression. The 11th house represents your network of friends, associations, and long-term aspirations, while the 5th house governs creativity, personal joy, children, and romance. This lunar eclipse could feel like a turning point where certain relationships, personal goals, and even creative projects either culminate or come to a natural end. It's essential to embrace these changes as they will pave the way for new opportunities and growth. During this period, your relationships with friends, peers, and even elder siblings may undergo a significant shift. The energy of the eclipse is pushing you to let go of attachments that no longer serve your higher purpose, especially in your social and professional circles. If you've been holding on to manipulative or possessive behaviors in your personal or professional relationships, this eclipse serves as a wake-up call. It's important to recognize that trying to control others or situations will only create instability. You may find that certain friendships or group associations no longer align with your evolving values. It's possible that you might feel disconnected from people who were once central to your life, particularly those in your social network. Although these changes may feel bittersweet, they are necessary for clearing space for more fulfilling connections. By allowing these relationships to end naturally, you are creating room for new energy to enter your life. The emotional turbulence you may experience will ultimately help you realize which relationships are worth holding on to and which are best left behind. Professionally, the eclipse may bring a project or collaborative endeavor to completion. This could be something you've worked on with a group or community, potentially a creative project that you're about to present to the world. As you wrap up this work, you may feel a strong sense of accomplishment and even public recognition. This period can boost your confidence, making you feel more worthy and appreciated for your efforts. It's a time to celebrate your contributions and share your achievements with the world. However, this culmination might also signal a farewell to the people or organizations you've worked with. For instance, if you've been part of a specific team or community, you may find that it's time to move on, possibly due to relocating or changing career paths. As much as this may be a painful goodbye, it could also be an exciting fresh start for your personal and professional development. This eclipse urges you to release old goals that no longer resonate with your future vision. Although parting from familiar people and environments might stir up mixed feelings, the promise of new beginnings will ultimately outweigh the sadness of letting go. Rahu's influence in the 11th house during this lunar eclipse could tempt you toward unhealthy desires. Rahu, known for creating illusions and encouraging shortcuts, might lure you into situations that seem promising on the surface but have negative long-term consequences. Whether it's in terms of pursuing material gains or forming alliances with people who don't have your best interests at heart, it's crucial to exercise caution. Be mindful of who you surround yourself with and the motivations driving your actions. This period also demands that you scrutinize any contracts, agreements, or partnerships before committing. Hasty decisions, especially regarding finances or professional alliances, could lead to complications down the line. The eclipse amplifies sensitivity and vulnerability, particularly in the areas of short travels, sibling relationships, and dealings with neighbors or coworkers. If you're involved in any negotiations or are about to sign important documents, take extra care to ensure you fully understand the terms and long-term implications. The fifth house, activated by this eclipse, brings the focus on children, creative expression, and romantic relationships. There could be notable changes in your relationships with your children or issues related to their well-being. As a parent, this eclipse may prompt you to reassess your role in your child's life, encouraging you to establish healthier boundaries and a more authentic connection with them. In your romantic life, this eclipse can serve as a catalyst for transformation. If you've been involved in a relationship that no longer fulfills you, this period may push you to make a decision. While the temptation to end things abruptly may arise, it's essential to approach the situation with caution, as impulsive actions driven by emotional turbulence could lead to unnecessary heartbreak. If you've been working on a personal project, this might be the time to finalize and share it with the world. However, this period also signals the end of certain creative cycles, allowing you to step into a new phase of self-expression. If you've been feeling stagnant or blocked in your creative output, the energy of the eclipse will help clear away old patterns, making way for fresh inspiration. The lunar eclipse in Pisces, combined with the influence of Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra, offers a powerful opportunity for spiritual growth. This is a time when introspection and meditation can be especially beneficial. Pisces' watery, mystical energy will heighten your intuition, making it easier to tap into your subconscious mind and address unresolved emotional issues. The eclipse encourages you to rise above material temptations and focus on your inner growth. You may feel a pull toward cutting corners to achieve quick success, but this will ultimately be detrimental. Instead, channel the transformative energy of the eclipse into personal development, reflection, and spiritual practices. Overall, the lunar eclipse in Pisces is a pivotal time for Taurus individuals, particularly in areas related to friendships, professional collaborations, creative projects, and personal expression. While this period may bring emotional challenges and endings, it also offers the opportunity for fresh beginnings and deeper spiritual connection. By embracing these changes with an open heart and mind, you will find that this eclipse clears the way for more fulfilling relationships, greater self-confidence, and a renewed sense of purpose in life. For Gemini, the upcoming lunar eclipse in Pisces will activate the Virgo-Pisces axis, which governs your 10th house of career and public life and 4th house of home, family, and emotional foundations. This alignment brings significant changes in both your personal and professional spheres, demanding careful attention and emotional flexibility. As the moon, your 2nd house lord, conjuncts Rahu in your 10th house, you may experience career transformations that will ripple into your home life, influencing your work-life balance, emotional well-being, and financial planning. The lunar eclipse will emphasize your 10th house of career, public life, and reputation, suggesting that a significant chapter in your professional life may come to an end. You might experience the conclusion of a project, the departure of a superior, or even changes in company management. These shifts could initially feel unsettling, but they will open the door to new opportunities that align more closely with your passions and long-term goals. For many Geminis, this eclipse marks a time of letting go of a professional role or identity that no longer serves you. Whether you are leaving a job, redefining your career path, or moving away from a public image you have cultivated for years, this period is about transformation. You may feel compelled to explore different facets of yourself and your abilities, moving toward a more fulfilling role that resonates with your true aspirations. There's also a chance you'll find a new sense of joy and excitement as you embark on this fresh path, allowing you to invest more time in your passions and personal projects. On the flip side, it's essential to be cautious in how you navigate these transitions. Rahu's influence in your 10th house could tempt you to take shortcuts or act impulsively. Avoid making hasty decisions regarding your career, especially if you're pressured by external factors. Stay grounded in your core values and approach changes with integrity. Remember that how you handle this period will significantly impact your public reputation and the way others perceive your ethics and professionalism. This lunar eclipse also brings your 2nd house of finances and values into focus. The moon rules your 2nd house, which governs not only your income and savings but also your sense of self-worth, personal values, and ethics. With the eclipse highlighting these areas, you are urged to be extra mindful of how you manage your finances, as well as how you present yourself to the world during this time. Unexpected financial gains could arise from your networking efforts or through career changes. However, be cautious when making new financial commitments, as the influence of Rahu can cloud judgment. This is not the ideal time for impulsive investments or hasty financial decisions. Take the time to review contracts, business deals, or any significant financial agreements carefully. Consider seeking advice from trusted professionals before making any substantial commitments. Your integrity may also come under scrutiny during this time. How you behave in public and at work will reflect your upbringing, ethics, and values. It's crucial to maintain professionalism and avoid compromising on your core principles, even if external pressures tempt you to act otherwise. The choices you make now will have long-lasting consequences, so be mindful of how your actions reflect on your public image. As the lunar eclipse affects your fourth house of home and family, you can expect significant changes on the domestic front. This might involve emotional challenges or disruptions in your family dynamics, particularly with close family members, such as parents or siblings. You could find yourself in conflict with family members, roommates, or your partner over domestic matters. The energy of the eclipse could bring unresolved issues to the surface, forcing you to confront and address them. If you've been experiencing tension or dissatisfaction at home, the eclipse could bring things to a head, leading to an emotional release or closure. In some cases, this may manifest as a family member making a significant life change, such as retiring, moving, or letting go of something they've held onto for a long time. While these changes may be difficult, they also offer the opportunity for new energy to flow into your home and emotional life. On a more personal level, this period may cause you to reevaluate your emotional needs and comfort zones. This eclipse might prompt you to make necessary adjustments, or even drastic changes in your living environment or family relationships. The fourth house also governs emotional well-being, and with the eclipse activating this area, you may find your emotions heightened during this period. Changes at work and home could create stress, which may affect your mental and physical health. It's crucial to maintain a balanced routine, paying attention to both your diet and exercise regimen. Prioritize self-care to manage the emotional turbulence that this eclipse may bring. Meditation, yoga, and other calming practices can be especially beneficial during this time. The eclipse is a potent moment for spiritual reflection, allowing you to release old emotional baggage and make space for new growth. If you've been holding on to negative emotions or unhealthy habits, now is the time to let them go. Overall, the lunar eclipse in Pisces will usher in significant changes for Gemini, especially concerning your career, public life, home, and emotional foundations. Stay flexible and open to change, but remain grounded in your core values and principles. Avoid impulsive decisions, particularly in your career and financial dealings, and take care to manage your emotions during this turbulent time. Embrace the transformation, knowing that it will bring you closer to a more authentic and fulfilling life. For Cancer, the upcoming lunar eclipse in Pisces is set to significantly impact, occurring in their ninth house of guiding principles, higher learning, travel, and belief systems. This event will ripple across different aspects of their lives, particularly influencing how they approach their academic pursuits, relationships with siblings and mentors, and their overall faith in life's guiding forces. The energy of the eclipse will activate Cancer's 3rd and 9th houses, which govern communication, bravery, travel, and higher education. Cancer individuals should expect both challenges and breakthroughs in these areas. The eclipse illuminates Cancer's axis of communication, learning, and travel, suggesting that something related to these areas may come to an end or undergo transformation. Cancers might find themselves completing a significant chapter of their academic or learning journey. This could mean graduating, wrapping up a course of study, or even leaving behind a path they once pursued with enthusiasm. While these changes may initially feel unsettling, they are making room for new opportunities and growth in unfamiliar territories. If you've been feeling stuck or unsure about the direction of your learning or communication efforts, this eclipse could provide the push needed to step out of your comfort zone and explore new possibilities. Cancer's 3rd house, which deals with siblings, short travels, and communication, will also be activated, leading to potential shifts in relationships with siblings or friends. Some of these relationships may evolve or even conclude, especially if they've been plagued by unresolved conflicts. As you embrace a renewed sense of confidence, it's important to let go of what no longer serves you in this area. The energy of the eclipse is calling for transformation, so if something feels like it's breaking apart, allow it to, because it's paving the way for a new sense of authority and confidence within you. With the 9th house in focus, this eclipse could bring to light matters connected with higher education, long-distance travel, and philosophical beliefs. Cancer individuals may feel the urge to complete an academic project or shift their focus to new areas of learning. For those pursuing higher studies, this may be the time to step back and evaluate whether your current path aligns with your long-term goals. Some of you might be graduating or completing an academic chapter, which could bring a mix of satisfaction and uncertainty about what lies ahead. You may feel as though you're in the dark about your next steps, and that's okay. This eclipse is about letting go of old frameworks and allowing yourself to embrace the unknown. If you've been pursuing a particular academic or spiritual path, now might be the time to reconsider and explore new perspectives. Likewise, for those who are married, in-laws could become a focus, and there may be announcements of changes in their careers or personal lives. It's possible that they'll experience shifts in work or health, requiring family members to rally around them for support. This eclipse also stirs up themes related to guidance, belief systems, and mentors. You might find yourself questioning your faith, feeling uncertain about the direction you've been following, or experiencing a sense of doubt regarding your spiritual practices. This can be a perplexing time where the foundations of your belief systems are challenged, making you feel disconnected from the guidance you usually rely on. It's crucial during this period to seek advice from trusted mentors or seniors before making any major decisions, as their wisdom could help you navigate these confusing energies. The presence of Rahu in your 9th house indicates that you may be prone to confusion and uncertainty around matters of faith and guidance. There may be doubts surrounding your belief system. It's essential to stay mindful of this, especially if you're considering making big decisions during this time. Cancer individuals are urged to avoid taking impulsive actions based solely on faith or gut instinct, as the eclipse might cloud judgment. Instead, take the time to reflect deeply and ensure that your decisions are well thought out. During this eclipse, changes in relationships with siblings and close friends could surface. A sibling may be wrapping up an academic or personal project and might seek to explore new avenues. For Cancer individuals, this could mean a change in how they interact with these individuals or how their relationships evolve. It's possible that some relationships will undergo a period of distance or transformation, especially if there have been underlying tensions. However, there is also the potential for stronger bonds to form, as Cancers may find that people in their immediate circle, such as siblings, friends, or romantic partners, are offering valuable support and guidance during this time. This is also a good period for seeking help from those around you, as there will be plenty of people, whether friends, siblings, or colleagues, who can provide useful insights and assistance. Don't hesitate to ask for help, as it's a time when collective support can help you navigate the confusion brought by the eclipse. As the eclipse activates your 9th house, it's important to exercise caution when dealing with legal matters, immigration, and travel. If you've been planning a long-distance trip or waiting for visa-related decisions, there may be some delays or confusion surrounding these issues. It's wise to double-check all documents and ensure that everything is in order before proceeding with travel plans or legal processes. The energy of the eclipse can bring unexpected developments, and you may not have full clarity on all the details. If possible, try to avoid initiating new legal or travel plans around the time of the eclipse and instead focus on resolving ongoing matters. Overall, the lunar eclipse in Pisces will be a time of significant change and transformation, especially in the realms of communication, learning, travel, and spiritual growth. While the eclipse might bring moments of confusion or uncertainty, it's ultimately guiding you toward a deeper understanding of yourself and your path forward. Embrace the changes, seek support from trusted mentors and friends, and trust that what may seem like an ending is creating space for new opportunities and growth in your life. For Leo, the upcoming lunar eclipse in Pisces casts a transformative energy, particularly due to the Rahu-Moon conjunction in your 8th house. This lunar event signals the need for heightened awareness and introspection, as it touches upon your financial, emotional, and professional spheres. The 8th house governs shared assets, debts, taxes, and deep psychological undercurrents, and with Rahu intensifying these areas, you will need to tread carefully in various aspects of your life. The eclipse also influences your 2nd house of wealth, possessions, and speech, creating an atmosphere of uncertainty and change. The lunar eclipse triggers significant financial shifts, especially regarding shared resources and debts. The Rahu-Moon conjunction in your 8th house casts its shadow on the 2nd house, suggesting potential sudden financial disruptions. If you're involved in business, particularly import-export ventures, you should brace for possible losses or unforeseen financial challenges. Investments may take a hit, and caution is advised when making any high-risk financial moves. This eclipse also highlights dependency relationships, where you may feel the need to reassess your reliance on shared assets or financial ties with others, such as spouses or family members. There may be significant conversations around joint finances, shared bank accounts, or investments, and it's possible that these discussions could lead to restructured agreements, or even the release of certain financial obligations. You're encouraged to scrutinize all financial dealings carefully, particularly in areas such as taxes and debts, as mistakes or oversights could surface during this period. While some of you may experience relief by clearing debts or resolving financial burdens, others should remain vigilant for potential errors or suspicious financial activity. This lunar eclipse could also bring about major changes within the family, particularly related to shared assets or inheritance. You might find yourself navigating difficult conversations with family members or in-laws, as the 8th house also deals with familial assets. There may be a need to release or let go of certain attachments to family wealth, or you could be called upon to take on greater responsibility in managing shared resources. For some, this period could prompt a reevaluation of your dependence on family or external support systems. Whether it's financial, emotional, or material dependency, you may feel compelled to break free from certain entanglements, leading to greater autonomy and independence. However, such transitions might not come without some tension or resistance, so approach these matters with patience and diplomacy. The lunar eclipse, with its influence on the 8th house, may also affect your professional life, particularly in terms of hidden challenges or crisis situations. This period could feel like a culmination of ongoing professional difficulties, prompting you to reevaluate your work relationships or business partnerships. If you're engaged in partnerships, whether business or romantic, the spotlight will be on shared financial responsibilities. There may be losses connected to a partner's finances or the need to contribute more to joint financial obligations. Be mindful of your communication style during this time. You may need to navigate office politics with caution, as taking sides or favoring one person over another could backfire, leading to strained relationships with colleagues. Maintaining a diplomatic and balanced approach will be key to preserving your professional standing during this period. On a deeper emotional level, the lunar eclipse touches the core of your inner world. The 8th house, often associated with transformation, death, and rebirth, may bring old wounds or unresolved traumas to the surface. This is not the ideal time for you to delve too deeply into your past or rehash painful memories, as the energy of the eclipse can amplify negative emotions. The Purvabhadrapada nakshatra, where the eclipse occurs, is known for its association with nocturnal activities and deep introspection, which can make you more prone to anxiety or stress during this time. You're advised to steer clear of self-destructive tendencies or overthinking, as this could lead to emotional burnout. Meditation and mindfulness practices can help alleviate the intensity of this period, allowing you to maintain emotional balance and clarity. While the 8th house energy might tempt you to confront deep-seated fears or unresolved issues, it's important to approach these matters with caution and avoid getting lost in negative thought patterns. The lunar eclipse also puts a spotlight on your relationships, particularly in terms of financial dependencies or shared resources with a partner. There may be tension or challenges in navigating joint finances, and you might feel the need to let go of existing sources of income or business partnerships to make way for better opportunities. While this period may bring about the end of certain financial arrangements, it also opens the door to new beginnings, especially in the professional realm. If you're in a romantic relationship, you might experience a shift in dynamics, particularly if your partner is facing financial difficulties. This could be a time where you're called upon to provide support, either financially or emotionally, but it's important to ensure that this does not lead to feelings of resentment or imbalance in the relationship. Overall, this lunar eclipse in Pisces brings a mix of challenges and opportunities. With the 8th house activated, there is a strong emphasis on shared resources, financial responsibilities, and emotional transformation. You will need to navigate financial matters with care, particularly in relation to taxes, debts, and shared assets, while also being mindful of your communication style in professional settings. By remaining cautious and embracing the potential for growth, you can navigate this transformative period with grace and emerge stronger on the other side. For Virgo, the upcoming lunar eclipse in Pisces brings significant shifts, particularly focusing on the interplay between the 1st and 7th houses. These houses represent the balance between self-identity and partnerships, creating potential emotional upheaval that can affect confidence and personal life. With Rahu and the moon's influence, there may be illusions clouding judgment, causing misunderstandings or miscommunications, especially within close relationships. The lunar eclipse's influence on your 7th house, which governs partnerships, and your 1st house, representing the self, signals emotional tension and potential conflicts in close relationships. Whether it's with a romantic partner, business associate, or even a close friend, the eclipsing energy may distort perceptions, leading to confusion or conflict. Rahu's presence alongside the moon can amplify illusions, causing you to misinterpret your partner's actions or intentions. This is particularly critical for Virgo, as your naturally observant nature might lead you to overanalyze situations. While you may feel inclined to point out flaws or mistakes, it's crucial to hold back from doing so during this period, as such actions may not be well received, further exacerbating tensions. Marriage and long-term partnerships might especially feel the brunt of this eclipse. Elder siblings or external influences may interfere with your relationship, possibly causing misunderstandings between you and your spouse. Be cautious about how you communicate during this time. Any perceived criticism could cause further strain. Instead of focusing on flaws, try to use careful and considerate language in all interactions, and avoid getting swept up in emotional turbulence. While the eclipse is stirring up emotions in your personal life, it also opens up opportunities for growth in your professional sector. Significant changes in business partnerships or collaborative projects could be on the horizon. The October 2nd solar eclipse will further accentuate this shift, clearing out any old or stagnant partnerships that no longer serve your growth. Though this may seem challenging at first, it's clearing space for something new and potentially much more fulfilling. This period could be a time where you take your expertise to a new level, mastering an area of your career that you have been building for years. The lunar eclipse may force you to reassess your professional relationships, pushing you to let go of unproductive collaborations and focus on exciting new opportunities that align better with your long-term goals. For instance, if you've been involved in a partnership that is consuming too much time and resources, you might realize that it's time to release that connection to pursue something more lucrative and expansive. Though these transitions might feel unsettling, they are necessary for your growth. Trust in the changes, and understand that letting go of existing partnerships could open doors to new, more rewarding opportunities. Whether it's stepping into a leadership role, launching a new project, or transitioning into a different career path, this eclipse highlights the importance of taking calculated risks. While the path ahead may feel uncertain, it's essential to take a leap of faith, especially if there's a promising opportunity within your grasp. The moon's lordship over your 11th house, which governs friendships, aspirations, and social connections, further complicates the situation. As the lunar eclipse affects this area, there may be challenges in achieving your goals or strained relationships with friends and networks. The conjunction of Rahu and Moon creates an energy of doubt and confusion, leading you to question your dreams and aspirations. You might find yourself feeling burdened by unmet expectations, which could, in turn, lead to projecting these frustrations onto your partner or close associates. It's vital to avoid engaging in blame games during this period, as they will only aggravate the situation and create further emotional distance. Seek support carefully during this time. While advice from friends and colleagues may be well-meaning, it might not provide the clarity or guidance you need. The eclipse's energy can distort perspectives, leading to misguided counsel. Instead, it's advisable to seek out expert opinions or professionals who can offer unbiased advice, particularly concerning financial or business matters. Despite the emotional turmoil, this eclipse also presents an opportunity for spiritual growth and self-awareness. This period is ripe for metaphysical experiences and moments of heightened awareness. Taking time for meditation and introspection could open the door to deeper self-realization, providing you with the strength to endure the emotional and relational challenges brought on by the eclipse. You might even experience revelations regarding your life's direction or gain a clearer understanding of your soul's purpose during this intense period. The Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra, where this eclipse occurs, warns against succumbing to rumors, overthinking, and doubting your partner. This nakshatra often brings emotional ups and downs, and Virgo, being a naturally analytical sign, may be more prone to getting caught up in negative thought loops during this time. Try to focus on facts rather than assumptions, and avoid making any hasty decisions regarding your relationships or career. Overall, while this lunar eclipse brings emotional upheaval, it also creates space for growth, transformation, and new beginnings in your professional and personal life. Approach this period with patience and clarity, and be mindful of your communications to avoid misunderstandings. Embrace spiritual practices to ground yourself, and trust that the changes happening now are paving the way for a brighter, more aligned future. For Libra, the lunar eclipse occurring in Pisces, specifically in your 6th house, highlights critical areas of your life, such as wellness, occupation, daily routines, and financial obligations. With the eclipse casting a shadow over your 12th house, which governs interpersonal conflicts and unresolved matters. You may face tension both professionally and personally. This period brings significant transformations that need careful navigation, particularly in terms of work-life balance, health, and relationships. This eclipse may introduce strain into your relationships, particularly in the workplace. You might experience heightened pressure from your boss or supervisors, leading to a feeling of being overwhelmed. The 6th house governs workplace dynamics, daily routines, and how you manage your workload. The 12th house, on the other hand, can amplify feelings of isolation or emotional distance from others, especially when combined with high-stress environments. If you feel burdened or find your workload unbearable, it is wise to seek support from friends or family members. Getting a second opinion before making any decisions will help you avoid unnecessary conflicts or misunderstandings. Effective communication will be your greatest asset during this period. By coordinating well with your colleagues and ensuring that everyone is on the same page, you can manage your responsibilities more efficiently. However, it's crucial to also monitor your spending habits. The 12th house is known for triggering excessive expenditure, so now is a good time to pare down unnecessary expenses and focus on financial prudence. The lunar eclipse could mark the completion of a significant project or long-standing issue, perhaps even a court case. The 6th house governs competition, disputes, and obstacles, so if you have been dealing with any legal or competitive matters, this eclipse could bring closure or resolution. Whether you have been involved in workplace competitions or striving to achieve a specific goal, this period will likely conclude with some form of finality. The sense of completion may feel like a relief, allowing you to focus on new priorities. This is also a time for potential changes in your job or work environment. You might decide to leave your current position or hear that a coworker is resigning. These changes could feel unexpected, but they may lead to new opportunities. For some Libra individuals, there could be adjustments to your daily work routines, possibly due to changes in workplace legislation or corporate restructuring. Your day-to-day work may no longer function as usual, requiring you to adapt to new regulations or work with international teams. The 6th house is closely associated with health, so this eclipse may prompt you to reevaluate your approach to wellness and daily habits. With new insights and information at your disposal, you might realize that certain routines or health practices no longer serve you. This could be an ideal time to let go of bad habits, whether related to diet, exercise, or mental health. You are likely to experience an enlightenment regarding your physical and emotional well-being, which will inspire you to adopt healthier practices. However, the eclipse also signals vulnerability, especially concerning health issues. You may be prone to conditions related to anxiety, depression, allergies, or even infections. Be cautious and avoid any physically risky activities, such as extreme sports or venturing into unsafe environments. Prioritize rest and self-care, and make sure to seek medical advice if you notice any health concerns during this time. On a deeper level, this lunar eclipse will spur significant emotional growth and personal development. The transformations you undergo, particularly in how you view your health, work, and day-to-day life, will resonate with you at a core level. You are likely to gain new perspectives on life and discover a sense of joy and satisfaction from these changes. This period may bring a newfound enthusiasm for your work, especially if you find meaning in working with or helping others. Collaborative efforts could prove especially rewarding, and connecting with coworkers or friends on shared projects might give you a sense of fulfillment. These changes in your professional life may also impact your personal and home life, though these effects may not be immediately visible to others. You might keep certain developments private for now, perhaps related to your living situation or relationships with family members. Still, the shifts you make at work could lead to more harmony in your personal life in the long run, especially if you embrace them with a positive outlook. With the moon as your 10th house lord, which governs career and professional reputation, be careful about making impulsive decisions regarding your job. The 6th house placement of the eclipse suggests the potential for unexpected developments in the workplace. Be mindful of how your actions could affect your relationships with juniors or subordinates. If you overlook important details or fail to follow through on tasks, these issues could snowball into larger crises. To avoid such scenarios, maintain a vigilant and organized approach to your work. This period calls for mindfulness in your mental and emotional state. Avoid overthinking past traumas, losses, or disappointments, as dwelling on negativity could drag you deeper into pessimism. Instead, practice letting go of emotional baggage. Meditation, charity, and spiritual practices will help you maintain peace of mind and provide therapeutic relief during this transformative period. Although this lunar eclipse may bring challenges and uncertainties, especially related to your career and health, it also offers the chance for deep personal growth and new beginnings. Venus, your ruling planet, will soon enter Libra, its own sign, further elevating your ability to navigate these changes with grace and optimism. Focus on the positive aspects of the transformations happening in your life. Letting go of old patterns and embracing new ones will bring about a greater sense of fulfillment and balance, both in your professional and personal life. Overall, this lunar eclipse offers Libra individuals the opportunity to realign their work routines, health habits, and relationships. While some of these changes may feel challenging, they ultimately lead to greater clarity, personal development, and joy. Stay mindful, avoid impulsive decisions, and embrace the shifts with a positive outlook. For Scorpio, the lunar eclipse in Pisces takes place in the 5th house of creativity, romance, and self-expression, while also influencing the 11th house, which governs friendships, goals, and gains. This powerful astrological event will stir deep changes in these areas, pushing Scorpios toward a period of emotional intensity, self-reflection, and necessary transformation. The 5th house, being activated by the lunar eclipse, brings focus to your romantic life, creative projects, and children. You may experience sudden revelations or shifts in these areas, requiring you to evaluate what truly fulfills you. If you're in a romantic relationship, this eclipse could trigger intense emotions, potentially leading to conflicts or the resurfacing of hidden issues. For those dating casually, this could be a time when you decide to let go of a romantic interest or change your approach to love. You might realize that your previous ideals about relationships are no longer aligned with your reality, prompting a reevaluation of what you seek in a partner. Creatively, you may feel a surge of inspiration, but you might also face blocks or disorganization. This could be the perfect time to reassess your creative goals and determine whether they align with your long-term vision. If you've been dedicating too much time to a hobby or project that no longer serves you, this eclipse could highlight the need to let go, allowing you to redirect your energy toward more meaningful pursuits. The 11th house, which governs friendships, social networks, and long-term goals, is also influenced by this eclipse. You may experience changes in your social circle or feel a stronger desire to connect with like-minded individuals. However, this is also a time when conflicts with friends or misunderstandings can arise, especially if your personal goals are diverging from theirs. Be cautious with your communications, as this eclipse could bring misinterpretations that lead to tension in your relationships. Financially, your investments and speculative ventures may be impacted. If you've been involved in the stock market or other forms of speculative activities, this eclipse serves as a warning to tread carefully. While you may be tempted to take risks, it's important to thoroughly research and avoid blind trust in others' advice. The planetary alignment suggests that misunderstanding or miscommunication could lead to financial setbacks, so proceed with caution and avoid impulsive decisions. You may experience sudden revelations about your intimate relationships or financial partnerships, leading to a transformation in how you handle shared resources or how you engage in deep emotional connections. Secrets that were previously hidden could come to light, particularly in romantic or financial matters. While this might be unsettling, it offers an opportunity for growth, as you gain greater clarity about what needs to be changed or released. Whether it's letting go of a toxic emotional bond or transforming your financial strategies, this eclipse urges you to embrace the changes and trust that they are leading you toward a more authentic and stable future. During this lunar eclipse, you may find that communication becomes a key area of challenge. Disorganization and overwhelming thoughts may lead to misunderstandings, both in your personal and professional life. It's important to be mindful of your words and ensure that you're communicating clearly, especially in matters related to work and relationships. Conflicts may arise due to misinterpretations, which could create delays or obstacles in achieving your goals. In your professional life, speed bumps may appear, especially if you're working on creative projects or collaborating with others. Be patient and try to stay organized, as this will help mitigate the feeling of being overwhelmed. If you feel disoriented, take time to pause and reassess your priorities before moving forward. For Scorpios with children, this lunar eclipse may bring changes related to their activities or your relationship with them. You might decide to pull back from certain financial commitments, such as paying for extracurricular activities, to focus on more pressing financial goals. This could also be a time when you reassess your parenting style, making adjustments that align with your long-term vision for your family. As mentioned earlier, be careful with speculative ventures during this time. The alignment of the eclipse warns against taking unnecessary risks, particularly if they involve blind trust or impulsive decisions. It's best to take a step back and avoid major financial decisions during this period. Despite the challenges, this lunar eclipse offers a unique opportunity for spiritual growth and creative insights. The energy of the eclipse may activate your intuition and open you up to hidden knowledge or new perspectives. For those involved in creative or artistic endeavors, this is a potent time for breakthroughs, especially if you spend time in introspection or meditation. The alignment of planets during the eclipse heightens your ability to access spiritual insights and tap into the subconscious. However, be mindful of overindulgence or escapism, as the emotional intensity of the eclipse could lead you to seek solace in unhealthy habits. Balance is key, and engaging in spiritual practices or creative outlets can help you navigate the emotional waves that accompany this astrological event. Overall, this lunar eclipse in Pisces brings a mix of excitement and challenge. While you may enjoy moments of celebration and fun, the eclipse also highlights areas of your life that require reevaluation and transformation. Be open to letting go of activities or relationships that no longer serve you, and use this time for deep self-reflection. With careful attention to your communications and financial decisions, you can emerge from this eclipse with greater clarity and a renewed sense of purpose. Embrace the changes, and trust that they are guiding you toward a more fulfilling and authentic path. For Sagittarius, the lunar eclipse occurring in the Pisces sign signifies a period of transformation and challenges in both domestic and professional spheres. This eclipse, positioned in the 4th and 10th houses for Sagittarius, directly influences your home, family, career, and public image. During this eclipse, Sagittarius individuals need to brace for emotional upheavals, especially within their home and family environment. The proximity of the moon with Rahu intensifies emotional reactions and creates imagined issues, leading to potential disruptions in domestic peace. Power dynamics at home may undergo significant changes, and the authority within the household could shift unexpectedly. For instance, you might witness a shift in the balance of power between family members, such as between parents, or even between partners if you are in a relationship. This change can be unsettling, as it might involve letting go of an existing living situation or adjusting to new domestic arrangements. The eclipse brings to light significant developments in your home life, potentially involving parents or in-laws if you're in a relationship. This period might mark a point of no return, where you must adapt to new realities, whether that means a change in residence or a shift in family roles. There could be emotional conversations around letting go of a home or reevaluating your living arrangements. If you've been planning a move or a major change in your domestic setup, this eclipse could signal the culmination of these efforts. As something significant wraps up in your private life, your focus may shift towards nurturing your relationships and friendships. On a professional front, this eclipse is a productive time, bringing innovative and unique opportunities. You may find yourself drawn to new ventures or projects that require thinking outside the box. These opportunities may demand more of your time and energy, potentially causing you to spend less time at home. However, this period is ripe for growth and creativity in your career sector. Embrace these chances, as they may lead to financial gains and professional advancements. The support of a partner or friend can be crucial in helping you realize these new ideas, so remain open to their input and assistance. Your ruling planet, Jupiter, is currently transiting the 6th house, heightening concerns about finances and health. This transit makes you more susceptible to financial challenges and health-related issues. Combined with the eclipse's influence on your 4th house through Rahu, there is an increased tendency to worry about negative outcomes. This planetary combination may lead to secretive behavior or a heightened sense of vulnerability. It's essential to guard against irrational fears and to avoid making impulsive decisions based on anxiety. Instead, focus on building a solid foundation for your financial and emotional well-being. The influence of the moon, your 8th lord, brings an overwhelming influx of negative thoughts. You may find yourself preoccupied with fears of betrayal or loss, leading to a heightened state of emotional distress. This is a time when deep-seated insecurities might surface, causing you to feel more suspicious of the people around you. It's crucial to recognize these thoughts as temporary effects of the eclipse and not let them dictate your actions. Practicing mindfulness and spiritual practices like meditation can help you maintain emotional balance and prevent negative thinking from overwhelming you. This lunar eclipse emphasizes the need to be cautious in your relationships, especially with superiors or authority figures at work. This period indicates a potential for conflict or misunderstandings with bosses or colleagues, which could have lasting consequences. Any fallout during this period, particularly with someone in a position of authority, may leave a significant impact. It's vital to maintain professionalism and avoid actions or words that could be misinterpreted or lead to disputes. Approach any potential conflicts with care and strive to resolve them amicably. The emotional intensity of this period can take a toll on your mental health, making self-care and emotional well-being a priority. The eclipse's energy, combined with Rahu's influence in your 4th house, suggests a need for internal reflection and self-protection. Guard your emotions from negative thought processes and avoid making hasty decisions in your domestic or professional life. Instead, channel this energy into constructive activities like meditation, journaling, or creative pursuits. By focusing on self-care and nurturing your inner peace, you can navigate this tumultuous period with resilience and clarity. During this eclipse, there is a possibility of saying goodbye to someone in your family or experiencing a change in your living situation. This could involve someone relocating, which might feel heartbreaking initially. However, this change can also open up new avenues for personal growth and freedom. Use this time to focus on the strong support systems around you, whether they are friends, family members, or partners, to help you through these adjustments. Overall, the lunar eclipse in Pisces brings a period of significant transformation for Sagittarius individuals, particularly in the realms of home, family, and career. While the changes may be challenging and emotional, they also present opportunities for growth and new beginnings. By remaining mindful, focusing on self-care, and staying open to innovative professional opportunities, you can navigate this period successfully. Remember to guard your emotions and be cautious with authority figures, and use this time to cultivate inner peace and strengthen your relationships. For Capricorn, the lunar eclipse occurring in Pisces on September 18th is set to have a profound impact, specifically targeting the 3rd house of communication and the 9th house of guiding principles, travel, and higher learning. With Rahu and the Moon conjunct in your 3rd house, this period will significantly heighten your desire for professional recognition and may intensify doubts about your abilities. This astrological event brings opportunities for recalibration, self-discovery, and the potential to redefine your path, though it also calls for caution in relationships, communication, and travel. This lunar eclipse is a powerful period for Capricorn, as it challenges you to reassess your courage and communication style. The 3rd house, influenced by Rahu and the Moon, urges you to let go of outdated thought patterns and embrace new beliefs. This is a transformative time where you can actively program a new mindset, shedding limiting beliefs that no longer serve you. It's a period ripe for spiritual growth and recalibration of your inner strength. Any effort you make towards releasing old, unhelpful ways of thinking will be successful, leading to a renewed sense of self-confidence. Spiritual practices play a crucial role during this time, offering guidance and helping you maintain balance amidst these shifts. Engaging in meditation, yoga, or other spiritual activities can help you navigate this intense period, providing clarity and inner peace. The eclipse encourages you to focus on the spiritual side of life, aiding you in overcoming obstacles and restoring optimism. By turning inward, you can find the courage and insight needed to face challenges in both your personal and professional life. The eclipse activates the axis of travel, learning, studies, and communication, signifying a culmination in these areas. You might find yourself wrapping up an important project related to writing, researching, or communicating. This could involve completing a book, a study, or a significant piece of work that required extensive interaction and collaboration. You may finalize an educational chapter in your life, such as taking an exam, receiving a certificate, or attaining a qualification that allows you to advance in your career. This period also marks a shift in how you communicate. You may realize the need to adopt a new way of expressing yourself, perhaps learning a new language or technical jargon relevant to your field. This change may feel emotionally challenging as it requires letting go of familiar modes of communication. However, support from colleagues and peers will ease this transition, helping you adapt to new ways of conveying your ideas and interacting with others. With the Moon governing your 7th house of partnerships and coming under the influence of Rahu in the 3rd house, relationships, especially with your partner, may face challenges. Miscommunication or misunderstandings, possibly stemming from rumors or unsolicited information, could cause tension. If you have planned any trips or outings with your partner, be prepared for the possibility that things might not go as expected, leading to potential rifts. This period also requires caution in professional partnerships and agreements. Given that the 7th house is also associated with legal contracts, any documentation or agreements you are considering signing during this time need to be reviewed carefully. The conjunction's influence can bring sudden, unanticipated issues, so it's crucial to be vigilant and avoid impulsive decisions. You might feel compelled to react impulsively or take drastic actions in response to professional setbacks. However, It is advisable to refrain from making hasty decisions or reacting emotionally to workplace challenges. Any sudden or eccentric actions, such as abrupt resignations or confrontations, could have long-term consequences, so maintaining composure is key. The eclipse's influence on the 3rd and 9th houses emphasizes caution in matters related to travel and learning. If you have travel plans during this period, be prepared for potential delays or inconveniences, such as lost luggage or unexpected disruptions. These challenges can test your patience, but they also provide opportunities to practice resilience and adaptability. In terms of learning and studies, while this is a time of wrapping up and finalizing projects, it's also a period for embracing new knowledge and expanding your horizons. The eclipse encourages you to remain open to learning new skills and adapting to changes in your environment. The lunar eclipse will have a significant impact on your mental state, potentially causing stress in partnerships and professional relationships. You may feel more vulnerable to external influences, such as gossip or lack of support from those around you. This period can stir up feelings of self-doubt and anxiety, particularly concerning your ability to communicate effectively and maintain harmony in relationships. While the lunar eclipse brings its share of challenges, it also offers a pathway for growth and transformation. By embracing change and letting go of outdated thought patterns, you can recalibrate your approach to communication, relationships, and professional life. Engaging in spiritual practices will help you maintain inner balance and gain the clarity needed to navigate this complex period. Be mindful of how you express yourself and interact with others, as this eclipse is an opportunity to redefine your communication style and align it with your higher goals. Overall, the lunar eclipse in Pisces brings a dynamic period for Capricorn individuals, emphasizing the need for transformation in communication, relationships, and professional endeavors. While it presents challenges in terms of self-doubt, misunderstandings, and travel disruptions, it also offers opportunities for spiritual growth, recalibrating your courage, and adopting new ways of thinking. By remaining vigilant, focusing on spiritual practices, and embracing change, you can harness the energy of this eclipse to move forward with renewed clarity and purpose. For Aquarius, this eclipse occurs along the financial axis, activating the 2nd house of wealth, values, and family, as well as the 8th house of shared resources, transformation, and hidden matters. With the moon's influence on the 6th house, the themes of service, health, and routine will also be important. Coupled with Rahu's unpredictable energy in the 2nd house, this period could lead to sudden upheavals in finances and family relationships. It's essential for you to stay grounded and approach these shifts with patience and careful planning. The 2nd house, which governs personal wealth and values, is at the forefront during this eclipse. You may experience financial challenges or sudden changes in how you manage your resources. Rahu's presence in the 2nd house can bring financial uncertainty, unexpected expenses, or even misunderstandings related to money within your family. You could find yourself in situations where family members may turn to you for financial help. While your natural generosity may prompt you to assist, it's crucial to be discerning and avoid impulsive financial decisions during this time. Protect your finances and prioritize long-term stability over quick fixes. This period could also be a time of recalibration for your wealth consciousness. If you've been struggling with money, know that this eclipse offers an opportunity for growth. A new financial mindset is being birthed, and while the process may be uncomfortable, it is ultimately leading you to a healthier relationship with money. You may be shedding old patterns of financial naivety and developing a more mature approach to budgeting, saving, and investing. As difficult as these changes might feel, they are paving the way for more sustainable and secure financial growth. Alongside financial changes, the eclipse may trigger shifts in your personal values. You might feel compelled to realign your actions with your core beliefs, particularly if you've been living in ways that contradict your true nature. Avoid taking drastic actions that might compromise your integrity or lead to misunderstandings within your family. For example, if your identity is deeply connected to spiritual or ethical work, refrain from making choices that could contradict these values, especially in financial dealings. Upholding your principles during this time is key to maintaining your inner peace. The influence of the 8th house brings another layer of transformation. The 8th house is linked to shared resources, debts, and profound life changes, which means you might experience upheavals related to joint finances, inheritances, or taxes. This is also a time when you could be called to release control over certain aspects of your life, particularly in areas where you've been holding on too tightly. The eclipse may prompt you to let go of emotional baggage, hidden fears, or unresolved financial matters that have been lurking beneath the surface. Trust that these endings are necessary for your growth, allowing space for new opportunities to emerge. The lunar eclipse will also affect your private life, particularly concerning your home and emotional well-being. With Venus, the ruler of your 4th house of home, transiting through the 8th house during this eclipse, there could be changes in your living situation or family dynamics. You may feel a strong urge to clear out old belongings, reorganize your space, or even prepare for a major move. This is an excellent time to declutter your home, both physically and emotionally, as it will help you create space for new beginnings. In addition to financial and personal shifts, the eclipse will encourage you to explore your spiritual beliefs. The influence of Jupiter, the ruler of Pisces, suggests that this is a time to connect with higher ideals and philosophies. You may feel drawn to embark on a spiritual journey, whether through meditation, prayer, or even a pilgrimage. If a pilgrimage or spiritual retreat resonates with you, this could be a powerful way to recharge and gain clarity during this transformative time. Alternatively, you might seek out other ways to connect with the divine, such as deepening your involvement in a spiritual community or exploring new philosophical perspectives. The 6th house, ruled by the moon in your chart, governs health, service, and daily routines. As the moon comes under the influence of Rahu during the eclipse, it's essential to be mindful of your mental and physical health. Stress and anxiety may be heightened, particularly as Saturn continues to transit your 1st house. You may feel overwhelmed by responsibilities, both at work and in your personal life, and it's important to find healthy ways to release this tension. However, be cautious about how you seek emotional release during this time. The eclipse may amplify the urge to escape through indulgent behaviors, such as excessive drinking, casual relationships, or overindulgence in food. While these temporary distractions might seem appealing, they are unlikely to provide the long-term relief you seek. Instead, focus on activities that nurture your soul and bring genuine peace. Engaging in spiritual practices, spending time in nature, or simply enjoying quiet moments of reflection can provide the emotional release you need without compromising your well-being. In terms of relationships, this eclipse may stir up emotions, particularly in your family and close partnerships. You might find that old family dynamics resurface, leading to misunderstandings or conflicts. Be mindful of how you communicate with loved ones, and try to approach any tension with patience and compassion. This is not the time for hasty decisions or confrontations, as the emotional energy of the eclipse can cloud judgment. Overall, the lunar eclipse in Pisces will bring a period of financial recalibration, personal transformation, and spiritual growth for Aquarius. While the changes may feel uncomfortable, they are ultimately leading you to greater clarity and stability. Embrace this time of endings and new beginnings with patience, and trust that the shifts you experience will set the stage for a more aligned and fulfilling future. The lunar eclipse happening in your sign, Pisces, marks a profound period of self-discovery, emotional intensity, and significant changes in both your personal and professional life. As the Rahu-Moon conjunction activates your 1st house of physical, mental, and social well-being, and influences your 7th house of partnerships, you may feel a powerful shift in your sense of self and your approach to relationships. This astrological event is a catalyst for letting go of outdated versions of yourself, redefining your identity, and finding a balance between your own needs and those of your partners. During this eclipse, heightened emotions may arise, potentially leading to disruptions in personal and professional relationships. The Rahu-Moon conjunction can cloud your perspective with illusions, causing misunderstandings and arguments. You might feel overwhelmed or uninspired, leading to emotional outbursts. It's crucial to remain mindful of your reactions and choose your words carefully to avoid causing unintended harm. Maintaining a calm and humble demeanor will help you navigate through these turbulent waters. It's a period where intense emotions can disrupt the balance in your relationships, so strive to manage your emotions and maintain clarity in your interactions. This eclipse is a powerful time for self-reflection, urging you to contemplate what you have outgrown and who you wish to become. It may feel like a rebirth, pushing you to let go of old identities and life paths that no longer serve you. This process may involve abandoning an idealized version of yourself or relinquishing a life direction that once seemed important. You might have held onto a fantasy of being someone who sacrifices for others, constantly putting their needs before your own. This eclipse marks a turning point where you recognize the importance of prioritizing your own needs and well-being. You could also find yourself stepping into a new role within your private life, such as expanding your family or taking on new responsibilities that require you to leave behind your old self. This transition may feel daunting, but you have the support of family and loved ones to help you navigate this journey. Communicate openly with them about what you're going through, as their encouragement can ease the process and provide you with the strength you need to embrace these changes. The lunar eclipse also brings a focus on your physical health and well-being. You might realize the need to change your approach to your body and overall health. This could involve letting go of habits or activities that serve as an escape from reality. Pisces is known for its affinity for indulgences that help them evade the harshness of the real world, but this eclipse signals a shift towards confronting reality and making healthier choices. You may decide to adopt a more disciplined routine, focus on fitness, or alter your diet to better align with your long-term health goals. Embracing these changes can lead to a more grounded and balanced lifestyle. In terms of relationships, this eclipse can bring both challenges and opportunities. There is strong support from partners, friends, and colleagues who can help you manifest your personal goals in the tangible world. If you are in a committed relationship, there may be exciting developments in your partner's life that impact your future together, prompting you to leave behind an old life path. While this transition may bring a sense of grief over closing a chapter, it also ushers in enthusiasm and excitement for what lies ahead. However, it's important to tread carefully when it comes to making significant decisions in your relationships during this time. This period suggests that the energy surrounding your relationships may not be entirely supportive. Whether you are considering proposing to your partner, moving in together, or taking other major steps, the eclipse's energy indicates a need for caution. The astrological influence suggests that the nature of events may not fully support your intentions, and actions taken during this period might lead to unforeseen complications. Therefore, it's advisable to approach any relationship changes with thoughtfulness and patience. With the moon under the influence of Rahu in your first house, there's a possibility of attracting attention, but not always for the right reasons. You need to be mindful of the impression you project in the world, especially if you are involved in public ventures like social media or stock market trading. The eclipse can create situations where you become known for actions or experiments that you did not anticipate gaining public traction. Therefore, it's essential to exercise caution in how you present yourself and the decisions you make during this time. Avoid engaging in speculative ventures or taking significant risks, particularly in areas like stock market investments. The current energy is not favorable for taking leaps of faith in financial matters. Similarly, be cautious in commercial and business decisions, as the energy of the eclipse may not support impulsive or drastic changes. It's a time for careful planning and consideration rather than bold moves. While the eclipse brings challenges, it also offers an incredible opportunity for spiritual growth and personal development. You are in a period of profound transformation, shedding old layers of identity and emerging with a clearer sense of self. Use this time to reflect on what truly matters to you and what brings you joy and fulfillment. Embrace the process of change and be open to discovering new aspects of yourself. Trust that this period of rebirth will lead to a more authentic and aligned version of who you are meant to be. Overall, the lunar eclipse in Pisces is a pivotal moment for deep introspection, emotional growth, and significant changes in various aspects of your life. By navigating this period with mindfulness and an openness to transformation, you can emerge with a renewed sense of self and a stronger foundation in both your personal and professional relationships. Embrace the journey of letting go and stepping into a new chapter with confidence and grace. As we wrap up this transit episode, remember that these insights are based on sidereal or Vedic astrology, which accounts for the approximately 24-degree difference with the tropical zodiac. If you'd like more personalized predictions for their specific zodiac sign or have any questions about their astrological chart, feel free to reach out to us. Stay tuned for more astrological updates. If they found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more astrology insights. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so they never miss an update. Thank they once again for joining us, and we eagerly anticipate sharing more astrological wisdom with they in the future. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep shining bright.